Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Oops, I messed that up. Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. This is a LGDP news alert. Sami Vatanen has signed with the New Jersey Devils. Shorts guy.
Yep.
Did you see this coming?
No, not at all. I was expecting. I was not expecting this. I was expecting to, complete camp with the roster we had to, see some of the, some of the young guys make the team. Sami Vatanen, I think if you would have asked me in February, maybe we'll re-sign him. Yeah, I think I would have said yeah then. But at this point, I've been so wrapped up in looking at the young kids and watching some of these scrimmage games. Everyone, with Ty Smith, coming in and being there in camp, and Vatanen was the last thing that I thought I'd see today. In the middle of the workday, I was like, whoa, Sami Vatanen. And then, as soon as I could, I got that out on the, I made sure that we got that up for the IG, for the Instagram. So if you don't follow the Let's Go Devils podcast on Instagram, that's where you're going to see some of our first breaking news. If we don't get to do a podcast, you can follow our Instagram or our Facebook for breaking news. But yeah, I was not expecting this today.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. And I want to ask all Devils fans, we want to get your rapid reaction. You can comment below on our Facebook Live, or you could tweet us at Let's Go Devils Pod or on YouTube. We were just like what you were saying before, focusing on all the young kids, but we forgot that there are still free agents. Now, we want to ask you, did you forget? How did we forget that Sami Vatanen was still out there? I thought he was long gone. See you later. Yeah, I forgot he was a free agent, and now the Devils are kind of double dipping here because they got some pretty decent return on that deal, and Carolina was going on their cup run, and then as you remember, Votten got hurt. Then suddenly the NHL paused, and then there was all this dispute. Will the Devils get, a better draft pick? How many games he's going to play? And after all that, Sami Vatanen re-signs and signs with the New Jersey Devils, and really cheap. Did I see $2 million?
Yeah,
this year.
It was $2. Yeah, it was
just
$2.
$2 million.
1 year deal for $2. Yeah, that's really not a bad deal. We've got, we have a lot of youth in our defensive core that needs guidance, and I think he could definitely do that. He can definitely help guide the youth, and I'm excited to see him back. But I have seen a lot of Devils fans out there saying, "Oh, this is it for Ty Smith." It means Ty Smith won't make the team.
No. That's not what it means.
No. And I was going to say, whoa. Can you let me stop? Let me finish. I was going to say, I don't agree that this is I don't agree with that this is the end of Ty Smith's tenure with the team. I think that Ty Smith was sent back last year on purpose, and he had and he played with a vengeance and proved why he should now be with the team this year. But I also do think that with Binghamton playing in Newark, that having that team that close means that now I have to look. I don't know if this means that we can basically essentially use all of Binghamton as a taxi squad, or if we can pull from them since they're in the same building, and I'm sure we'll be under the same protocol. But I think that this is not going to hurt Ty Smith. I don't think he's going to be sent back to anywhere but Binghamton, or it be kept here. But then we got Kuka Kanen.
Yes.
for in the trade, and he is doing pretty good. I believe he skated today on a line with Boquist and Sharaganov. So we got a lot for Votten, for an injured Votten, and now we have him back. So here's hoping his
I
injury is
always liked
better.
Sammy.
So did
I
I.
not because not because he has my name, okay, but he was just always like he was above average on the blue line, and I think that what the Devils have done, and I'm reading the comments. Are you seeing the comments? That's why I almost interrupted you before.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Before I had to take a 10-second timeout. But Phil Condito writes, does the Votten signing tell us some of the younger D guys are not ready? What are
It
your
might.
thoughts, Shorts Guy?
It might, but it also might mean that they're looking to fill out their D core with some veteran presence to help get these D guys complete and to have mentors there, which you want mentors. You want players that have played in the NHL. You don't want to have complete youth. I do think though, we've mentioned on the podcast before, this is going to be a very different year, and you may see, with the shortened schedule, you may see a lot more rotation. And with Binghamton being right, I'm assuming I don't even know what rink Binghamton's going to play on, but I said it before. With Binghamton right there, like there's no. I'm curious if they're going to have easy movement back and forth, and be able to have that option. But I think he can only
Yeah,
help. He can only help the rookie D men. He can't hurt. He can only help them.
yeah, I think this is a good move. There's no risk here.
No.
Okay, and also just remember there is also the thing called the NHL Trade Deadline.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got somebody on an affordable 1 year deal. Okay, if it pans out that Votten does so well, and the Devils are in a playoff hunt on a 56 game season, hey, great signing. Plus, you got a prospect out of it, right? But
Mm-hmm.
say if the Devils suck, and there are other teams that just need to shore up that D, just like last year.
Yep.
You can ship them off. I would hate to see that. But the bottom line is Tom Fitzgerald's, I guess, I don't know, they waited it out. Boom. This is a great deal. I mean, this is a win-win for everybody. Votten gets a team
Yeah.
that's familiar with, has some money in his pockets. The Devils
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to spend a lot of money. Plus, with the pandemic and this being a little unusual season, unusual circumstances, with the Binghamton being next door, you don't have to play the rookies. You can let them develop and be nurtured right beside the big club. So it's going to be a big kumbaya in a way. Having Binghamton nearby. I think the Devils are smart right now by making this
Yeah.
deal.
I think so as well, and I think by the fact that the Devils are bringing Binghamton here, solidifies that Binghamton's going to play in the AHL season, which means that if they do send a lot of the youth to Binghamton, then those kids will get a place to play.
Yep.
Our ECHL affiliate, the Thunder are not playing, so we cannot send anyone to the ECHL unless we get another affiliate deal. Which I don't know if we can or cannot do that. But having Binghamton in the building assures that Binghamton's going to play a season, and which also means that our youth can go down and play at the AHL level, which if a lot of us remember that's what the Devils used to do years ago. They used to get really good prospects and make sure that they grew in the AHL first before coming up to the big club. Zach Parise played in the AHL for a little bit in Albany before he came up to the Devils. I believe you went on a trip to see him play in Albany, Sam, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. I will say this. I'm just reading the comments. I mean, There's a lot of comments. Twitter's humming. Facebook Live is humming. I haven't even looked at YouTube Live. I'm going to read this comment without even really reading it, so I'm going to read it out loud. Jeff writes, no, keeping 20, 22-year-old players in AHL is a bad move. They are only playing a certain skill level. You don't get better that way. Well, the other flip side to that, Jeff, is if you have younger players riding the pine in the NHL, that does them no good too. You want your players to be playing, right? Having both teams near each other, obviously distancing a little bit, but having them near each other instead of being miles away, I think is a good thing. I think it's a unique situation that the Devils are, Tom Fitzgerald and the Devils are adapting to, and I think this is a smart move. So, again, we're all, we all have different opinions, and of course, I'm going to be a shameless plug-in right now. Next week is opening night, and what are we doing here on the Let's Go Devils podcast? We are having a live virtual hangout. It is going to put technology to its finest, and we have a special guest that's going to be just literally hanging out starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern next week around this time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Hey, you can flip the TV on and watch Erica Wachter and Bryce Salvador, both friends of the podcast.
Yes, they are.
Both friends of the podcast. I know Erica hasn't been on twice, but she said that we're pretty cool. So I consider that a friend of the podcast. Now, Bryce Salvador, and hey, you know what? As the game's going on, you can listen a little bit of Kanji in the background, listen to us as we comment, because we are the most commented podcast in the history of New Jersey Devils podcasts, and as what Matt Junio says in the Facebook Live. We are live. That's how live we are. And maybe you can get a selfie with your favorite player one day. We're gonna start off with one player with our special guest. And I'm not talking like this type of selfie. It's going to be a screenshot by us. And maybe, just maybe, if you're nice to us, we'll have Grant. Oops, did I just let it out?
You did.
We'll have that player that we haven't confirmed yet sign it and mail it to you if you're nice to us. Did I just blow that? Too bad we don't have a dump button.
You did.
Anyway, let's get back. Let's change the subject. Breaking news. Let's Go Devils podcast news alert. Sami Vatanen has signed. I'm happy about that. We're thrilled about that. And, I mean, look, PK Subban, you're bringing the band back together. You got PK Subban, some continuity here. Sami Vatanen, Will Butcher, Damon Severson. Now I saw somebody joking around saying trade Severson. I don't think that's going to happen. All right, unless you get something really big. Okay, right now I like the Devils' salary cap situation. I like the fact that they're playing money ball or money puck right now, because you just don't know with the economics of the NHL right now during this uncertain time. How much lower is that cap going to go in the future? You just don't want to be hamstrung. And you do have a core nucleus of Nico Hischier, Jack Hughes. I mean, eventually Jack Hughes will need to be signed a couple years down the road. And I know it's a couple years, but you got to start thinking ahead. He's your franchise player, right? Down the middle, right? So Jeff says Sammy and Ty Smith would be very good pairing together. I would think so. Experience and skillful youth. Again, Jeff, you're hitting it. Eric Selden, gee, all we need is Brian Boyle. He's available. You know what? I'd just like to get Brian Boyle back, not because he's definitely a nice guy. He's a good player, but I just want to piss off the Rangers because I saw rumors out there that the Rangers are looking at Brian Boyle, and then you see all the fan bloggers. Brian Boyle would be a great fit. Hey, we love him. Yeah, everybody loves Brian Boyle.
Yeah, everyone loves him wherever he goes, so I don't blame him on that. But I saw those rumors today too that he may go back there.
Yeah, I know. So, Shorts guy, just to let you know, we got 5 minutes left. I know that you're on assignment somewhere after this breaking news alert podcast that we're doing. We're back. We just want to let everyone know we're back. We're on top of it. Anytime there's breaking news, we usually try to drop everything and do it. But, you and I are both pretty busy people. But we just got to it just now. Right now it's drive time. But the Let's Go Devils podcast, we did not take a shift off during this off season. We did not know. You can rely on us. Anytime there's a big news, we will do everything in our power to break it and get your conversation.
We've been podcasting for almost a year and a half straight, weekly for almost a year and a half.
With no hockey practically for 9.5 months.
Yeah.
I mean, we went to deep lengths.
Oh yeah.
That and the State of the Fan address. Now next week is going to be crazy. Okay, we're still working on a Sunday guest, but Wednesday is going to be the unofficial media day on the State of the Fan address. Chris Ryan, Dan Rice, Corey Massasak. There's 2 others on the list. I forgot who they were. I'm sorry. I just don't remember. That's what happens when you're live.
Yeah.
You start forgetting things.
By the way, 303 days as of right now with no Devils hockey. No Devils game play hockey.
But there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, though. Yes.
A week from tonight.
Yep.
Tonight, Devils drop the puck. And we're going to have a special podcast to start the season. So everyone should join us for that. And then we get to all watch, the Devils finally play a real game for the first time. And at that point, it'll be 310 days since the last time they did that. It's insane.
Eric Sullivan writes, maybe you should get Larry Brooks on so we can criticize all his great picks the last 10 years. I'll tell you what, I love Larry Brooks. I love him.
I was hoping beyond hope that someone would hire Larry Brooks to cover hockey in the bubble just against anyone who played Columbus, just to watch Brooks versus Torts, because they were some of the best. They were some of the best give and takes in sports.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but right now we're fired up. You're fired up. I think right now the Devils are quietly and slowly putting it together, but they got to get off to a fast start. I know I'm beating a dead horse on this because you've only got 56 games. Okay?
Yeah.
Maybe this is a good move because you got a veteran defenseman that's familiar with the players, not so much Lindy Ruff, but with the players, right? And maybe Votten, inserting him there now, and he's on. I would say this is his contract years because he's on a 1-year deal. Let him do it. Put him in. Let's go 5-0 to start the season this time around. Not like last year.
Yeah. And I just saw Phil asked, what do we think of the Corey Crawford situation? That's one that I think right now we don't know enough about to be able to have a real good handle on the situation. It almost sounds like he needs just some personal space. He went from a home for 11 years in Chicago to here. It sounds like he's having, some personal issues. And my hope is it's just like any one of us with our day-to-day jobs. Sometimes you just need a personal day. Just take some time off to adjust, especially to a new job. I think right now there's a lot of speculation flying around online, which is human nature. We don't know. So I think we just have to sit back and wait.
If you're not in the room, if you're not, this is my theory. Sorry to interrupt. With everything that's going on in the news nowadays, and during this uncertain time, the one thing I always and this is what I would like to tell all the viewers and all that: if you weren't there and you didn't see it, keep your mouth shut because you really don't know. And that's what it kind of pisses me off because whatever's happening right now, I'm not there. Mind your own business. Eventually you're going to find out. And let people take care of their business, whatever it is, right? We wish Corey well, whatever's going on, and hopefully he's back. Till then, he's on the team as far as I'm concerned. Till we hear otherwise. So speculation. Yeah, you get a lot of clickbait. I mean, we could probably speculate and turn this into, what's going to happen to Corey, but we're not. Okay, what we know is Sami Vatanen signs a one-year deal, and that's what we're going to concentrate on. And the stuff about Corey Crawford, we'll worry about it when we hear from the right people. We're not going to speculate because, honestly, if a guy wants to take a personal day, so be it. Big whoop. Yeah. It's not like we don't take personal days on this podcast.
No, well, you don't miss a shift. I've missed a shift or two, but you don't.
No. I've missed a shift. I just produce behind the scenes and don't make an appearance.
That's not missing a shift. You're still behind the scenes there.
Well, that's because we don't have anybody else to do it at the moment.
Yeah, because you haven't trained me to do it.
Yeah. All right. On that note. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, seriously, thank you all.
Every Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern, we got a special on State of the Fan Address, 7 p.m. Eastern, with our unofficial media day. And Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, we will be with a live guest where possibly you could take a virtual selfie, because we're probably the first fan podcast in the NHL to do live virtual selfies with tons of comments. And we will drop this in all of our podcast platforms after we cut the stream, or whenever I feel like getting to it. But then it won't be breaking news, right? It's like what Bruce Shriver told us. Well, how is it breaking news when it's not out there yet? When it's out there tomorrow.
Yeah, right?
Who knows? Hey, thank you, Shorts Guy. Thank you to everybody that listening in on Facebook Live, Twitch, Periscope, YouTube Live. Till next time, let's go Devils!